Hey guys, so I sat down with Rich Keeble, the voice of Fenrico from Wuthering Waves. You might recognize him from the hit game Clair Obscur Expedition 33, where he voices the character of Monaco, but he was so gracious to set aside a little time for me to talk about Fenrico, Wuthering Waves, and any potential hints to the future. So with that being said, let's get right into the interview. Thank you so much for agreeing to this interview. Could you just introduce yourself to everyone listening?
Hi, I'm Rich Keeble, and I play Fenrico in Wuthering Waves.
And what was your introduction to Wuthering Waves, and had you heard of it before taking this role?
I hadn't heard of it before I took the role. What happened was I got an audition for the role, and then basically when I was doing it, I think I asked somebody what the game was. Perhaps we'll get onto this later. Then, they told me what it was, and then, I looked it up and realised that it's quite a big deal.
And in your own words, what kind of character is Fenrico?
Well, Fenrico is a complex character. It's difficult to talk about him without kind of giving too much away. I mean, he's obviously the primus of the Order of the Deep. You know, when we first meet him in 2.0, some of what he's saying is a bit ambiguous maybe, and people aren't sure whether he's lying or not. You know, I remember seeing online a lot of people thought that, lying, or no, I don't think he is, or whatever. I think he comes across as, well, he's certainly coming across as sincere in our early interactions with him. But of course, we've just bumped into him again at the end of 2.3. And that looks like potentially a different side to him. And, you know, again, I've seen people going, oh, it looks like he's a fraud and all this kind of stuff. But, you know, we don't know. And, you know, is he good? Is he bad? Is he a mixture of the two? You know, we don't know. So, yeah, he's complex. And I do enjoy playing him, that's for sure.
By the great Sentinel Imperator, I swear to you, there shall be no deceit in my words. Yeah,
definitely a lot of ambiguity in there, like making people ask questions to see like what kind of character he is.
But also, so a lot of people find him very attractive as well. I mean, this has nothing to do with me. I mean, a lot of people do say that he's hot. So maybe I should have led with that. Really, he's hot.
It's definitely got a charm to him. I think so, personally.
He's got a full head of hair and everything. You know, I mean, some of us can
something that
really dream of it.
I know, right? I'm trying to not think about my own situation. But what was the process like in getting the role of Fenrico?
So this happens quite a lot in games, and you know, it's similar to other games. You know, I'm in at the moment, like Clair Obscur Expedition 33 that I've been talking about a lot recently.
I know I shouldn't grow attached to humans. They are ephemeral creatures. They come and go. They never come back.
But very similar in the fact that I just got an audition through and they asked me to tape for the character. They gave me an image of what he looked like. They gave me a little biography, which kind of sums him up. But, you know, I couldn't possibly read that out because that's very spoilery. And a few little voice references. This was actually something that I didn't have for Expedition 33, actually. But yeah, they sent through a few YouTube clips of what they were kind of after. I actually can't remember what they were, but I think one of them was Charles Dance in a game.
My patience has its limits. Do not test them. She's in danger.
But it was, that kind of authority, kind of, you know, priest-like character. There are a few examples. And they sent me some lines to do. Normally when I do a demo or a audition for a game, I record it on my sort of pro setup, you know, so that I sound half decent. But this one, actually, I was on holiday at the time. I was in a chalet I think we were in northern Poland. I think we were sort of near Gdansk. My wife is Polish, you see, so I think we'd go on with my brother-in-law and his kids and my kids, and we were in some chalet. So I just had to record it on my phone in the chalet. I had to just kind of kick everyone out and just do it on my phone. And funnily enough, they actually asked if I could do it in like my own accent.
Oh.
Just a kind of an RP type thing. And they also wanted me to do a kind of a European, sort of almost like Italian accent. And I did both. And I think when we actually recorded it, they gave me the option to do it in the Italian sort of accent. But I kind of said I prefer to do it in my own accent for many reasons. And then they were fine with that. So that's where we went. But yeah, it was just basically, get a tape through, do it, kind of try and forget about it, then got the offer, but I still didn't know what it was for, because you have to sign an NDA and it's all very secretive, because they're obviously worried about spoilers and stuff. And it was only, I think, when I did my first session I said, what is this game? And they were like, oh, it's called Wuthering Waves. And of course, then I looked it up and I saw that it was a massive thing, like millions of subscribers on YouTube and that sort of thing. And I really like the look of it, to be honest. I do really like that animation style. I thought it looked really cool and a nice thing to be a part of. You
touched on it earlier with the references you gave, talking about Charles Dance and such. How did you approach the role of Fenrico? You were given these the choice of RP, like received pronunciation, and also in this potential Italian accent. How did you personally approach the role of Fenrico?
I mean, as an actor, I kind of go with instincts quite a lot. I mean, I don't know whether that sounds pretentious or not, but I just try and understand the character and just try and read through everything, because they do send you when we're recording, you're kind of doing it to a spreadsheet on a screen in front of you. Sometimes you are just kind of quickly reading it and then delivering the line, but they do send it through and you can kind of get a gist of it. And so I kind of just thought I would just sort of do it in this sort of, he obviously believes what he's saying. I think that's an important thing, isn't it? Whether we believe it or not.
He has a conviction.
And he has a conviction to his words, doesn't he? He's sort of, he's there, isn't he? He's telling us that, he got given the nod to kind of be in the position he's in. So he's obviously very confident about that for whatever reason. So I just thought, he's a confident sort of guy with conviction, but also he has to have that kind of priestly kind of air of being comforting and certainly when we first meet him, he's like, there'll be no deceit in my words, or whatever, come chosen one, all this kind of stuff. It's all very kind of calming and reassuring, isn't it? So I just thought, how I'm going to play it. And it kind of develops as you do the sessions, really, because the story is kind of kept. I mean, I've done more recordings since he's appeared in 2.3. So, I know some stuff that is going to happen with him, but I still don't really fully know everything. It's all quite hush-hush. So, as you go, we'll have Claire from Kuro Games is on the line, and she'll explain it really, really well as to where we are at the moment in the story and what's actually happening. So you can kind of develop it as you go on, I suppose. Because, I mean, actually, I was watching a bit of footage on when he appears at the end of 2.3, and it's quite funny how he just kind of suddenly appears, doesn't it? I saw some people online going, "Oh my god, he's just appeared." My delivery is quite different, I think, in those scenes compared to what it was early on, because obviously when he appears, he's sort of doing this calming thing, and he's talking to Rover, no deceit, come, I'll explain all this stuff to you, and nothing to worry about. Whereas when he's there with Cristoforo, it's quite a different dynamic, isn't it? It's quite a different tone there. So, you can see how sort of adjusting the character depending on what scenario he's in and where we understand him to be. That sounds like a weird answer, but I'm just, he is a complex character and I'm trying not to give too much away, I suppose. I just realised, sorry, I'm drinking out of a cup that's got my picture on it, so if anyone thinks that's strange, I just randomly, someone did this when I used to have a normal job, and someone did a picture of me with my eldest child when she was a baby. So I just randomly picked that cup up and just thinking, why is he drinking out of a cup with his face on?
Very fatherly cup, it seems. One thing I wanted to ask is, you mentioned Charles Dance as well. Did you have any other inspirations for the role? Like any real life people or any other characters that you had in mind?
I think I probably did at the time, although I can't remember. As I say, there were about 2 or 3 references in the original audition that I thought were quite good. But really, it was kind of a voice that just kind of felt right,
The birds sing, the flowers bloom, yet this world knows neither true joy nor eternity.
It's quite close to my normal speaking voice in a certain way. It just felt like I didn't want to overdo it and channel too much, It's just, I don't like to overthink it, As I say, go with my instincts, I suppose.
Oh, that's completely fair. Like I said, you were given the option to speak in RP, receive pronunciation, or in the Italian. Did you have any other areas where you had a little bit more creative input to improvise or do anything with the role?
Well, I mean, in terms of improvising, there's not a lot of scope for that because it is quite, carefully written. I think sometimes on the day we do maybe suggest little tweaks to some of the language because maybe it hasn't been translated that, I don't know, it might not literally translate. And, sometimes when you're reading stuff out, it just sounds quite different than to how you imagined it when you were reading it. I mean, I've done that, when you're working on TV things, sometimes, you read something out loud and it's just like, oh yeah, that's not how people talk necessarily. I'm not saying that that's an issue in the game, but sometimes we might just tweak things. Yeah, I mean, generally I'll just do it as I feel like I would do it. And then there might be some notes or there might not be many notes. So I mean, we usually do a few takes on each line, I suppose. And then Danny, the director who does most of it, will, maybe give me an option to do it a slightly different way, a slightly different bit of direction. And then, then Claire will suggest something if she feels like it or not, or she'll just go, yeah, great, I'll take takes 2, 3, and 4 as an alt or something, So yeah, as I say, I'm sort of following my instincts with a lot of it.
Yeah. So you talk about the recording process there. You've mentioned Danny and Claire. I've heard a lot about Claire. I've heard she's a fantastic strength and really supporting presence in the recording process. Could you run me through the recording process from start to finish, or like when you get the lines to like, okay, we're done, that's a wrap? So
it's all done at Side in London, which is an audio outsourcing company, which is also where we did all the Expedition 33 stuff. And I've been doing a lot of stuff there as well. And it's great studios, really nice modern studios. All the staff are really lovely. All the engineers are great. And there's various directors that I've got to know. I've done some of it with other directors like Jay and Joe and Kim, I can't remember. But yeah, it's mainly Danny. And I'll turn up, just sort of make myself a hot drink in the kitchen, wait to be called in. And then, me and Danny will have a bit of banter because Danny's very funny, take the piss out of each other and that sort of thing. And then we'll kind of, I'll have warmed up and, we'll get in the booth and then we'll just, I'll have a gist of what we're doing. And it will just be me in the booth. I mean, I say booth, in these sort of studios, there's quite a lot of space, so you're not hemmed in too much. Yeah, it's like quite a spacey kind of room. There's a big telly on the wall and that's sharing someone's screen. So that it will be an engineer and Danny in the control room and then me on my own. And then Claire will be on the phone, on the line, or whatever you say these days. I mean, usually because there might be a bit of time in between sessions, I might have been doing something else or whatever. I won't remember what the hell we've done before, and it might be a completely time jumped situation anyway. So, Claire will explain where we are. Might have a bit of banter with Claire as well. Danny and Claire are quite funny together as well. And then, then we'll just kind of get on with it, really. Yeah, I'll just read the lines. We might do a few and then she'll take selects of what she thinks are the best, or we might redo it, or we might reword the line if necessary. We don't do a lot of that, to be honest. And then we'll move on. You might be doing stuff that has to sync to a video, So I did that cinematic, didn't I? There was when Renacita was first introduced in the 2.0 trailer, that was probably just before Christmas, I'm voicing in the trailer. So I think I did that to the picture. So I had to kind of sync that to whatever. But a lot of it is just recording it wild, as we say, so you're not syncing it to the thing, and then they will put it into those dialogue scenes afterwards. So sometimes you see bits of animation that are kind of works in progress, which is quite fun.
And did your understanding of the character evolve throughout the recording process? I don't know if this is going to touch on some of the later stuff that's spoilery, so we'll try and not touch on that. But like, as you were recording and you said you were given this pieces of the script, did your understanding of the character change in any kind of way?
Yes. Certainly some stuff I've recorded recently makes things make a bit more sense, I suppose. But yeah, I 100% can't talk about that.
Damn it. That's understandable.
Yes, I mean, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even be revealing that I've been doing more recording, but I think it's fairly obvious that he's going to be, we're going to see him again, isn't it, from what we've seen. But yeah, I think some things will start to make a bit more sense, I think, in whatever patch he reappears in.
And what aspects of the story or script resonated with you the most?
This is a bit, you'll probably have to cut this out because I'm just going to,
okay, I'll cut it out.
I do find there's so much story, isn't there? There's so much lore in this game. I find it actually quite confusing and quite difficult to understand. I do watch, I've forgotten her name, but there's someone who does these pretty good videos. I mean, I've watched some of your videos as well, of course, as I said.
Thank you.
But I do watch these videos where people kind of explain to what's happened. When I read it and I understand it, I think, well, this is actually a pretty good story. I don't know what I would pick up individually. I think what's cool about Fenrico is that even when he's not on camera, his influence is kind of felt, isn't it, with the activities of the Order of the Deep. Yeah, I guess it's all pretty absorbing, but you know, again, I'm looking at it through the point of knowing what Fenrico's deal is. So it's difficult for me to kind of it's difficult for me to talk about the story, I think, without talking about Fenrico's story.
That's fair. I'm feeling really blue-balled, but that's completely fair.
It's similar to like when I'm talking about Expedition 33. It's just like we don't really want to talk about the story too much, but it's just like you want people to discover it on their own, even though the game's been out for however long. You know, there's so many little things you just want to talk about. It's just like, well, I can't really talk about that because that kind of reveals how that character exists, and you just want people to kind of experience it on their own, don't you? That's why I'm in this kind of. I know it's not very.
No.
It's not a good interview to just be, just avoiding talking about it. But
it's fine. Don't worry. I completely understand. I don't want to get you in any sorts of trouble with Kuro. In saying that, though, what was your favorite scene or moment to record? Again, up to 2.3.
Well, I did enjoy recording that dialogue at the end of 2.3. But yeah, I think my favorite stuff is still to come.
Oh, what a tease! Okay, what a tease!
Well, I mean, I could say, out of respect for our partnership, some things are better left unsaid.
In saying that, though, you mentioned the end of 2.3. Would it be possible for you to do a section of that line reading for me?
I care not for labels of good or evil. My only care is Raguna's order and chaos. Fear is but one tool among many to maintain stability.
No, nice. And the one you mentioned before, was that your favorite line of all of Fenrico's?
When I think about Fenrico, I actually quite like some of the earlier lines, like the birds sing, the flowers bloom, yet this world knows neither true joy nor eternity. That was one of the first ones I did, I think, for the audition. That's why that sort of sticks with me. And the other one I quite like is, by the great sentinel Imperator, I swear to you, there shall be no deceit in my words. Quite like that, because it's just like, well, okay, is it
true? Yeah, is it the truth, or is he lying about not lying? I mean, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. Those are the ones that sort of pop up in my head. I mean, there's loads more lines that will come that I'll probably enjoy doing when I can.
I was wondering, like, how you mentioned that you've been watching some videos on YouTube and such. Like, how in touch are you with the Wuthering Waves community? Like, how much have you seen or interacted with people that are like really into the game?
Well, not as much as I'd like, if I'm honest with you. I mean, I keep mentioning Expedition 33. I know that's not what this is about, but that game has taken over my life in the last few weeks.
It's taken over the lives of many people as well, so I understand that.
I mean, it's nice. What's quite fun is that I've been seeing people online sort of realising that I voice Monoko and Fenrico, which is quite fun. And what's also fun is that, of course, Jennifer English, who plays Mael in Expedition 33,
definitely a Destro.
is also Carlotta. Is that
Carlotta,
right?
she is.
Wuthering Waves.
I would love to speak to her. Like, oh my god, she's
maybe
so busy.
I mean, she's super busy. Yeah, but I mean, I'll actually be seeing her at the weekend. I think we're going out to LA.
Oh, just slip a word in for me, please. Just slip a word in for me, please.
I'll slip a word in. No, she's very nice. Yeah. And yeah, I got to hang out with her a bit last week as well at the Expedition 33 release party in Montpellier. I'm such a jet setter at the moment.
Yeah, it
really,
sounds like it.
It's ridiculous. But yes, it's been very easy for me to lean into the Expedition 33 community because, of course, we've been so involved in the marketing, and they've put all of us out there, and I get a lot of messages from people. Wuthering Waves. So I first So Fenrico first appears in a trailer that came out sort of it was around Christmas last year.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit of a different setup, really, because I don't necessarily know what's happening as much in Wuthering Waves. I mean, literally in the story, but also in the actual development and release. So, for example, Expedition 33, Jen, the writer, would WhatsApp me and go, oh, there's a new Monoko trailer coming out next week or something. So we're like, oh, great, so be prepared for that, whatever. I mean, I didn't know that trailer was actually even coming out on that day in December. I was just like, oh, there's a trailer coming out. Oh, I'm in it. But I couldn't say anything about it because I hadn't been announced as the character. I mean, I don't think I actually ever officially was announced as the character. But, it's just a bit different. So I kind of knew that the stuff that's come out in 2.3, I knew when I was recording it that it was for 2.3, but I didn't know when 2.3 was coming out. I know roughly what else I've done and what else is happening there, but it's just a bit more kind of secretive, I suppose, for many reasons. So I suppose there's just less for me to post about online. And I did think about sort of popping into the Reddit sub or on Wuthering Waves, or I think there's some groups on Twitter devoted to Wuthering Waves and going, hiya! But I don't know. I almost feel sort of embarrassed doing that, really. As I say, Expedition 33 stuff has kind of come to me and I've kind of leaned into it, whereas I feel a bit awkward kind of going, oh, hello, it's me. I mean, I have done that. I have just, someone's posted about me or Fenrico on Twitter and I've just done a little winky emoji or something just to say hi. But I don't know if people necessarily even realise that I'm the voice actor. But I would love to engage more. But again, also it's a difficult thing. It's just like, if I said hello on a Reddit AMA or something, what can I really say? I thought maybe I would open myself up a little bit more a bit further down the line. But I am open to if anyone wants to reach out and say hi, and I'll be more than happy to chat.
Did you know? Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Did you know how popular Fenrico is in Japan right now?
No, well, you did mention something to me, and I mean that's nothing. That's if he's popular in Japan, that's obviously nothing to do with me.
Well, it's the character.
It's cool. It's the character, yeah. But it's not like they love my voice or something because it's someone else. But yeah, it's still the character. I mean, I'm very pleased about that because I can be happy about. If it's not something to do with me, then I can be, sing and dance about it. It's like, oh, great, they like Fenrico, the character, because I feel a bit embarrassed sort of, bigging myself up. But if it's the character and not me, then it's cool. So yeah, that is exciting. I have seen some, I don't know what you call them. Are they memes? But when it's like they've put his head on animations in videos.
Yes,
and stuff. I've seen.
They've done a lot of that.
I have retweeted some of those.
Yeah, they've done a lot of that. It's funny. There's one second. I can show you just a couple there. Like people just I don't know why, but some person spent so much time just to try and get Fenrico in the water, like in the cathedral. They would just use Yinlin and just like push him off just to get him into the water for some reason. I don't know why, but they're really like kind of obsessed with Fenrico. And then here got like a little bit of a manga panel. Of course, it's all in Japanese. And here's Fenrico in a rap battle with Rover, saying, "You're getting a bit round there, chosen one. Try dissing me. This is freestyle." And then Rover's just like, "Your face is weird." What? It's just. And then people actually looking forward to seeing Fenrico become a playable character as well, where they've created his own pull animation. And of course, it's Japanese, but. So there's been a few of those as well. So a lot of people in Japan are looking forward to Fenrico becoming a playable character, and myself too as well. I would love Fenrico to become a playable character. So beyond what you can or cannot tell me about future story updates, that's just my personal hope that Fenrico does become a playable character. I would love to play him. Here, people just like edit him and have him dance. I'm gonna have to like mute that afterwards, but they really like him a lot. There's so many.
Oh, so this is all on Twitter. This is all on.
Yeah. All on Twitter?
Normal Twitter, but it's kind of buried because you can't search for it because it's all Japanese.
Well,
unless you know Japanese.
Unless you know Japanese, yeah. So I would search for Fenrico up here in Japanese and just see an absolute stream of these all the time.
Oh, that's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, Fenrico is getting a lot of attention, particularly in Japan. So that's something that I thought you might be interested in.
Well, very much so, yeah. I mean, it's great because, I mean, obviously, you do a job and the character, sometimes they give the character more and kind of give you more to do, more than it was originally intended. And that's great. I mean, if people love the character. I did say this, actually, to Claire, I think, on the line once. I did say, I see a lot of people talking about Fenrico. And she said, we do see all that. So even if it's down to the Fenrico Japanese voice actor being amazing, and that kind of gets more for Fenrico to do, then thank you to that person, because then it gets more for me to do. That's really fun. That's really fun. It's great to see that. And it's nice that that people are enjoying the character, whoever's voicing him. That's really cool. I really enjoy doing it. I do enjoy doing the character, and I'd love to do more.
Yeah, I mean, you like bigging up the Japanese voice actor, and you're right, he is amazing as well. But I think your performance as well has been just as phenomenal as well. So I don't want you putting yourself down. I think you've did a fantastic job with the role. I'm looking forward to seeing more about him. And like you said as well, the things that he says leaves a lot of up for interpretation of there's ambiguity there, but there wouldn't be that ambiguity if you had not presented the lines in certain ways, if you had not performed the lines in certain ways. So like I said, I think your performance as well has been particularly great as well.
Well, you're very kind. I mean, a lot of it is to do with the writing and the direction. It's a team effort. But yeah, I appreciate it. I do really enjoy doing Fenrico, and actually something that is I was thinking about is that Fenrico, he's quite an easy voice to do. He's quite a nice character to voice, because I've done loads of games where I'm screaming and shouting and doing whatever, even in Expedition 33, Minoko's voice is down there, and obviously, it's sort of the deepest voice I can do and maintain. But Fenrico, he's in a nice, easy spot to kind of do, and it's it's a nice character to voice, and the sessions are fun as well. So I'd love to do more. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. And finally, do you have anything to say to everyone watching?
Well, thank you so much for your support and interest in Fenrico. It's difficult to know how someone's going to go down, because obviously, he's an NPC, and people are very excited about the playable characters. It's difficult to know how well he's going to go down, but he seems to be going down pretty well. And I'm very grateful to anyone who is a fan of his, whether it's my voice or somebody else's. But please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A massive thank you to Rich for setting aside some time for me out of his busy schedule. We spoke a bit more after this interview about everything that's going on in the gaming space, and he sounds incredibly busy. So again, I cannot state enough just how grateful that he took the time out to speak to me, of all people. So thank you. But yeah, guys, what did you think to the interview? Let me know down in the comment section below. And if you like this video and you want to see more, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because that greatly supports the channel. So until next time, I will see you in the next video. Peace.